Hey, this is Terry with Total Life Pursuit, and you have reached the video teaching number 7 of the physical health training series. I hope you've been enjoying these. Hope they've been good and satisfying. You've been building up your knowledge base and understanding. And today I want to talk to a subject that is near and dear to me. Okay, all of them are near and dear to me, but we're going to talk about rest, enjoyment, and really rejuvenation today. So I want to start with a question. What rejuvenates you? I mean, what activity, just one, what activity rejuvenates you? Can you name more than one? So last time we talked about sleep and naps, and I know that rejuvenates you, right? We talked about it. We all know that those things rejuvenate you. Is that what you were thinking? That's cheating because you went back to the last video series. Mark chapter 6, verse 31 says, "Then because so many people were coming and going that they did not even have a chance to eat, Jesus, said to them, 'Come with me by yourself to a quiet place and get some rest.'" Let's get refreshed. What is that for you? How do you do it? How do you get refreshed daily besides sleep and naps? Do you have anything that refreshes you? How do you do it weekly? How do you do it monthly? How do you do it yearly? What's that look like, refreshment? Is it a book in the sun? Or maybe a book, cuddled up to a fireplace? Watching the trees sway in the wind as the fresh air glides across your face? What's refreshing for you? I remember one time I was surfing in Waikiki. Not big waves or anything like that. In fact, there wasn't a lot of waves that day, and I'm sitting out in the warm water of Hawaii on a surfboard in the sun, looking at Diamond Head and thinking, wow, this is awesome. This refreshes me. When you say you are resting, what do you mean? What does it look like? If you showed me a picture of you resting, what would it look like? And not sleeping or napping, but resting. What would I see in the picture? I've got another series of questions for you. What brings you enjoyment? Remember that joy is the root word of enjoyment, right? It's not what you like. It's what you enjoy. It's from it's from Latin and then from Old French. And I don't know how to say this in French. Enjoyer, or enjoy, or something like that. It means to give joy. What gives you joy? I mean, there's something that kind of silly that gives me joy. I still get a kick out of it. When my dog runs around in a circle, whether in the house or outside of the house, for no apparent reason except for they're chasing something invisible, and usually they're growling while they do it. I mean, their butt's just like in that down position because they're trying to really get those hind legs going. And I just start laughing. I can't contain myself. Maybe it brings me back to my childhood. I don't know. I love it. I enjoy when the dog does that. So what gives you joy? We know we are designed to sleep. We are also designed to rest. And we are designed or given life to enjoy. That doesn't mean there's no hard times. I'm not trying to say that. There are plenty of hard times in this life when you're not thinking, wow, this is really enjoyable. I get it. I've been through many of them. I had a chronic disease that God healed me from. And whenever I had that pain, I didn't enjoy it. In fact, I wasn't enjoying anything. So I get it. But that's a season or a brief time, however it is in your life. And yet in many of those times, there's still things that you can find that are enjoyable. So I want to talk to you about resting and about enjoying today. All right, so resting. We have a hard time resting in this culture, in our society. We call watching a movie, TV, or social media resting? Well, 411, it's not resting. Do you know that when you see an action adventure movie, you actually have the adrenal response of being in that situation? You're like, oh, not me. Okay. Wim Hof. You don't know who that is? Look it up. Yeah, you do. It's a bodily thing. It happens to you. It produces stress response. We are connected to some kind of media, if we wanted to be, 24/7. I said in the last thing, teenagers aren't getting enough sleep. Why? Media. So they're actually in a sleep deficit because of media. So we give up sleep. We give up reading. Hello. We give up reading. We give up learning. We give up resting for entertainment. Now, entertainment isn't immoral, and it has its place in our life. I really think so. But we are not living our design if we don't rest. Part of the problem is we're uncomfortable with ourselves. We are very uncomfortable with peace and quiet. There's 11 studies by the University of Virginia and Harvard. They took 18 to 77-year-olds, okay? And they asked them to sit in a room alone and just think for 16 minutes. A majority, over 50%, hated doing it. Hated it. Strong language. Now get this. 54% of the people said they would rather shock themselves than sit there in quiet all alone. And all of the people who said they would rather shock themselves were men. Evidently, women still have some brains left. Okay. You know, resting your eyes, closing your eyes to rest can calm your mind. It's sometimes referred as quiet wakefulness. It'll give you some of your neurons just a break for a moment, since you're not actively thinking or concentrating about something. It lets your muscles relax. It lets your organs relax. It reduces stress. It improves mood. It increases alertness. It increases mental clarity, creativity, and motivation. And all these can enhance your productivity if you just quiet down for a few moments. How about 3 minutes? 3 minutes a couple times a day to check out and allow yourself to increase all of those things that I just said. Oh, I can't do that. I gotta get to work. I gotta push through. I just gotta keep going because I'm American. Well, I don't want to be discouraging about Americans. It's Westerners that really do this. But we just don't get it. To rest, to the Greek, was to cease. Are you with me? As I read this. Matthew 11:28. Come to me all who are weary and heavy laden or burdened, and I'll give you rest. Cease. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I'm gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. My yoke is easy. It causes no discomfort, really, is what that word means. My yoke causes no discomfort. So when you sit a yoke on there's no discomfort. And the burden is light. In other words, you'll be able to carry it around because it's light. It's not heavy. It's not cumbersome. Jesus says, come and learn from me. The word there is be a learner or be a disciple. Be my disciples, and I'll show you how to do this. Our problem is we're the world's disciples, and they're showing us how to be active all the time. You know, I'm going to talk about stress in another video, but we need to do what we did in kindergarten. Nap time. And even if you didn't take a nap, you had to lay down and be quiet. I'm probably one of the kids that didn't take a nap because I'm like, let's go to play in the sandbox. But I had to lay down and be quiet. It's a wonderful thing. Very smart. Very smart. So all of this doesn't mean we don't work hard physically, especially, or we don't work hard mentally. Of course, we are designed for hard work. From the beginning, before sin entered into the world, we were going to work hard. Are you with me? But we were not designed for never resting our souls and working without resting. I'm going to pull a 24-hour shift. No one does that except for doctors who are responsible for you. I'm not saying doctors are bad. I'm just saying I don't want a doctor who's been up for 24 hours working on me. Now, it's better than, one of my neighbors working on me, granted. But the reality is we aren't made to be up that long. We're made to, sleep. We talked about that. But we're made to rest. We're made to have some downtime. Our design isn't to go without resting, especially in our souls. Jesus thought giving people rest in their soul was really, really important. And I propose that if your soul is at rest, it will be easy for you to rest your body and attain more physical health. There's this concept that we've forgotten about. It's called Sabbath. Oh, isn't that Jewish or something? I mean, it's in the Ten Commandments, but, that's a Jewish thing, right? I don't know. Is not murdering a Jewish thing? Not committing adultery? Not coveting? Is that Jewish too? No, I don't think so. And in fact, Sabbath is one of those beautiful things that God gave us. It's not an ancient concept, or it shouldn't be an ancient concept, although it is, and it's been forgotten about. We've redesigned Sabbath to fit our lifestyle. Not trying, I go to church, that's my Sabbath. And then I go do this, and I go do that, and I go do this, and I go do that, because I got to get ready for the work week. I'm not trying to put some rules on us. I'm not trying to say you need to do all of this, because Jesus talked about all the rules, and it really leads down a really bad road. But the reality is, how about a day off from your labor? How about stopping working? Now, I can hear the women saying, yeah, I wish I could stop cleaning, picking up after the kids, changing the diapers, doing the dishes, and I get you. There's still some life that has to be done. I get it. Husbands may just say, step it up a little. If she's cooking, you're cleaning. Or why don't you cook and clean? Be nice. Maybe she could have a day off on Saturday and you could have a day off on Sunday. Something like that. Whatever it is, let's make it happen. Let's rest from our labors. The Sabbath is a wonderful thing. It's a reprieve from the work of the week to get your life centered again. Back on what? What's really important? Work product. No! What's really important? The life giver. The person, the being that gave you life. God Almighty. The Sabbath is a freeing day. Religion made it a day with rules up the kazoo, but all of those rules ripped the life right out of it. And we might not have rules for it, we just forget about it. I propose our problem isn't rule-bound Sabbaths. Our problem is we've forsaken the principle of Sabbath. They made something that they needed to serve, which was the Sabbath. And Jesus came and said, hey, man was given the Sabbath as a gift. His words were, Sabbath was made, created for man. It's a day off. It's a day of rest. Give your attention to God. A day to count your many blessings. Acknowledge where they came from. It's a time for family and friends. It's a time for your body to rejuvenate. It's a time to reflect. It's a time to sit in the sun and enjoy some rays of life. It's time to slow down, enjoy a meal, enjoy a beverage, drinking in the joy of God and enjoying it with gratitude. Wouldn't it be so life-giving to us and all those around us to honor God with the day, to stop and smell the flowers, to laugh with our kids, to take a nap and get some rest? Hey, maybe in a hammock outside, swaying. I like this idea. Enjoy this day and resist everything that wants to take this day away from you, because it's meant to be restorative. So let's talk Now about enjoyment. Ecclesiastes 2:24. A man could do nothing better than to eat and drink and find satisfaction in his work. This too, I see, is from the hand of God. For without him, no one can eat or find enjoyment. The root here of enjoyment denotes being glad or joyful with the whole disposition, as indicated by its association with the heart in certain other scriptures, or the soul, or even in Proverbs, it has the lighting up of the eyes. Enjoyment's supposed to be something that wakes you up and rejuvenates you. Deuteronomy says, these are the commands, the decrees, the laws the Lord your God directed me to teach you to observe in the land you are crossing into the Jordan to possess, so that you, your children, and your children after them may fear the Lord your God as long as you live by keeping all his decrees and commands that I give you, so that you may, why? Enjoy long life. Please note, long life is to be enjoyed. In Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 10, it says, Nehemiah said, go and enjoy choice food and sweet drinks. That doesn't mean soda. They didn't have soda back then. Sweet drinks, and send some of those who have nothing prepared. Cool, you get to share. This day is a sacred day to our Lord. Do not grieve, for the joy of the Lord is your strength. The Levites calmed down all the people, saying, be still, for this is a sacred day. Do not grieve. So in other words, resting is not grieving over everything. It's enjoying. Verse 12, it finishes up by saying, then all the people went away to eat and drink, to send portions of the food, and to celebrate with great joy, because they now understood the words that had been made known to them. Enjoying food and drink, sitting around, having a great meal. That's God's bounty. If life is all work and no play, then we will not enjoy the bounty that God has given us. If life is all play and no work, we'll have no bounty. Ecclesiastes 5:19. Moreover, when God gives any man wealth and possessions and enables him to enjoy them, to accept his lot and to be happy in his work, it's a gift of God. Are you with me? God gives you stuff to enjoy. Paul says that in Peter, Paul didn't write Peter. In Timothy, he says, after he warns the rich not to trust in their riches, he says, and God gives us all things to enjoy. So whatever he's given you, enjoy. Enjoy your kids. You got an animal? You got a pet? Enjoy the animal. You got a house? Enjoy the house. Enjoy the tree. Enjoy the fruit. If you got a tomato plant, enjoy that. Enjoy what God has given you, like your children. How about enjoying your children? They would enjoy you enjoying them. I'll stop with that. Enjoyment can come when you satisfy your cravings. That's what this is saying. Satisfy your cravings and you'll get enjoyed. You'll have enjoyment. Here's the trick. Are you ready? Make sure your cravings are the design cravings from God. See, when we have cravings for that thing that we don't have, or that, Mr. Jones has, or that the Kardashians have, or whatever it is, when we have those kind of cravings, all we find is frustration. When we can just be happy in our lot in life, then our cravings are satisfied. That there's food on my table, that there's a house, I live with a roof over my head. Some people don't have that. So maybe I should be happy about that. Get happy about that, enjoy that. So I'm going to give you 10 things that you can enjoy because God gave you to enjoy them. Are you ready? Not in any particular order. Material blessings are for your enjoyment. Wisdom is for your enjoyment. Nature, he put it there for your enjoyment. Community is for your enjoyment. Food and drink, we just talked about that, is for your enjoyment. Family is for your enjoyment. Work is for your enjoyment. Work. How can I enjoy work? Change your attitude. Change your thinking. Now, not all of work is going to be enjoyable. I have to dig a ditch now. Oh, I can't wait. I love digging ditches. Maybe someone's saying, I actually do like digging ditches. Whatever. I'll call you when I need a ditch dug or something, but that's not all. And if that's not what you like doing and that's what your job is, get another job. Like God won't get you another job that you'll have some enjoyment. He's given us children, especially my spouse. Man, I really enjoy her. I hope she enjoys me half of what I enjoy her. And finally, and number one, that's why I left it for last, is relationship with God. I enjoy my relationship with God. He wants you to enjoy your relationship with Him. See, resting creates health. You know when you go on vacation, okay, not adventure. Do you know the difference between vacation and adventure? Is vacation, you're resting. Adventure, you're not resting. You're having fun, but you're not resting. You come back and need a vacation from your vacation kind of thing. Yeah, it's like going on a week's vacation when you have to drive all day and set up camp, and then the other end you got to drive all day and get back. And really the first day is just getting acclimated. So really you're only gone 4 days. That's a tough vacation. Now that is all some of you have. I would just say plan your vacation wisely. I did a vacation this year that I didn't plan as wise as I would like to. So next year I got little notes, and I'm gonna change my plans and how I do vacation. Happiness or enjoyment protects you from cardiovascular disease. Did you know that? Enjoyment does. Do you know that enjoyment lowers your blood pressure? It lowers your stress hormones. Did you know that? It strengthens your immune system. Did you know that? Happiness, enjoyment lengthens our life. There is a design that we got to follow, though. We must follow it to maximize 3 things: our lifespan, our health span, in other words, how long we are healthy. I want my health span and lifespan to be cousins. Siamese twins, joined together. And then the last thing is enjoyment. So rest, Sabbath, vacations, enjoyment throughout your life are gifts from God. You know that saying, you ever heard it? Work now and rest when you're in heaven. That was created by a person who got to heaven earlier than God intended them to get there. And they probably had a little more pain and suffering than was intended as well, or they were designed for. Why? Because we need rest. We're designed for it. God rested in creation. God gave us a Sabbath rest from our works to try to attain some sort of righteousness. All throughout the Bible, God's trying to give us rest. We read the passage where Jesus says, I want to give your souls rest. Rest is something God wants to give us. So, let's rest. Let's take what God has given us. As with everything we have talked about, when we live out our design, everything's better. It just goes that way. I hope you have enjoyed this teaching. I'm Terry with Total Life Pursuit. We'll see you next time.